Prince Charles's wife, Camilla, demands $450 million divorce cash on Queen order. A sensational report from Globe has suggested Camilla Parker-Bowles is demanding an eye-watering $450 million to quiet a divorce Prince Charles. High-level palace sources told the US tabloid the Duchess of Cornwall is going for the jugular by threatening to expose Charles. She could bring the monarchy down, and she knows it, the insider allegedly adds. During a screaming match over money at their London home, Clarence House, Camilla enraged as Charles stood in stunned silence. Camilla hissed, "If you don't pay up, I'll destroy you and your family." The incredible confrontation, according to Globe, came days after Prince Harry's pregnant wife, Meghan, stood off against Camilla in a heated row. As previously reported, sources claim that Meghan confronted the Duchess of Cornwall over her continuous snide comments on the royal baby. Now fed up, Queen Elizabeth has immediately issued an unprecedented royal decree ending her son's 13-year marriage, Globe outrageously reports. Her Majesty's had enough of Camilla's scheming and backstabbing, the insider claimed. By ordering the immediate divorce, she expected Charles to be officially free of his wife, but Camilla's new threats have thrown them into chaos. To make matters worse, an explosive new biography confirms Charles wanted to call off his 1981 wedding to Diana. Charles felt that the marriage was doomed, says author Robert Jobson in Charles at 70, Thoughts, Hopes and Dreams. He wept to friends, "I desperately wanted out." Young Prince William asked Prince Charles, "Why do you make mummy cry all the time?" Well, this is incredibly sad. Prince Charles's troubled relationship with Princess Diana had a profound impact on sons Prince William and Prince Harry, according to royal biographer Robert Lacey in a new book, Battle of Brothers. And a young Prince William reportedly got into heated arguments with his father, taking his mother's side when conflict arose between his parents. "I hate you, Papa. I hate you so much," Lacey alleges. William once shouted at Charles, according to US Weekly. In a heartbreaking detail, William reportedly added, "Why do you make mommy cry all the time?" In a 1995 BBC Panorama interview with journalist Martin Bashir, Diana discussed how she explained her divorce from Charles to her sons. William asked me what had been going on and could I answer his questions, which I did. She reflected. He said, "Was that the reason why our marriage had broken up?" And I said, "Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage and the pressure of the media was another factor, so the two together very difficult. But although I still love Papa, I could not live under the same roof as him, and likewise with him." Diane also gave William some profound advice about his future love life. She revealed, "I went to the school and put it to William particularly that if you find someone you love in life, you must hang on to and look after it," she said. "And if you were lucky enough to find someone who loved you, then you must protect it." News revealing Prince William's reported COVID-19 diagnosis could have been time to make Brits take a second lockdown seriously, former palace insider says. Reports of Prince William's COVID-19 diagnosis could have been time to coincide with England's second lockdown, according to Grant Harold, former butler to the Prince of Wales. The Sun's Clemmy Modi and Matt Wilkinson reported on Monday that William tested positive for this disease caused by the novel coronavirus in April, shortly after Prince Charles and the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson tested positive. Kensington Palace had declined to provide comment on the record when contacted by Insider about the Sun's report. The Duke didn't announce it at the time because he didn't want to cause alarm, according to the Sun. "There were important things going on, and I didn't want to worry anyone," William told one person during a royal engagement, the publication reported. Harold told Insider that Williams is reportedly tested positive. Result may have been made public now to boost the nation's morale in the face of a second lockdown. England is in lockdown until December the 2nd. Williams' reported diagnosis could help the public understand the gravity of this situation. Boris Johnson announced on Saturday that England would go into lockdown on November the 5th until December the 2nd. Non-essential stores, restaurants and pubs are now closed across the country for at least a month, while households are banned from mixing. Members of government believe the lockdown could extend into next year. Insiders' senior politics reporter Adam Payne previously reported. Harold, who runs his own antiquette school, said reports of Williams' diagnosis could encourage those who are struggling to cope with the second lockdown. "We all respect that. It's private, but then why come out 6 months later and said, Harold told Insider, "It came across a bit like a PR stunt, but not a bad PR stunt. It almost looked like we have been given this bad news, been put back into lockdown, and this is almost like a reveal. I don't think this would have come out if we were not having another lockdown. It is to give people inspiration to stay. Father has had it, the son has had it, and you get through it too," he added. The PR machine at the palace is genius. Scottish television presenter Storm Huntley made similar comments during an appearance on the UK's Channel 5 talk show Jeremy Vine this week, saying, "I feel terrible to say this, but newspapers and people are trying to portray Will and Kate as being the good guys of the royal family at the moment, and Lord knows the royal family needs some good PR at the moment, and they're doing a great job of it," she added. William may have wanted to show the gravity of the situation without coming across as trying to insert himself into politics, according to royal expert Henry Astromont. A royal expert and PR advisor believes the news may have been shared in this way so William could raise awareness of the effects of COVID-19 without coming across as preaching to the world. "I don't see it as a PR stunt, but now there is a second lockdown. They may want to show the gravity of the situation." Astromont, co-founder of the exclusive Society Royal Bridges, told Insider, "William is quite healthy, so this shows how serious it is. If a young man, a former pilot who is healthy and active at problems breathing, then it shows other people can suffer too," he added, referencing the Sun report, which quoted a source saying that the prince was struggling to breathe after he tested positive. Astromont added that William might have decided not to make a formal announcement about his diagnosis to avoid sounding like if he was preaching or trying to win or back up the government because of the situation. As members of a constitutional monarchy, British royals cannot be seen as trying to influence or show opinion about government decisions, including the country's official restrictions and widely criticized response to the coronavirus pandemic. At the time of writing, England has had 934,099 cumulative coronavirus cases, including 891,963 active cases and 42,136 deaths. Even speaking about politics is often considered off limits. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently faced criticism for encouraging Americans to vote. Some people are upset that William kept his reported diagnosis private for months. Some members of British press have accused William's representatives at Kensington Palace of lying about the Duke's diagnosis in April. Robert Jobson, a royal editor at the Evening Standard, previously told Insider that the Insider and several other newspapers approached the palace for confirmation about Williams' diagnosis at the time, only to be firmly guided that it was not true. After news of Boris Johnson and Charles's illnesses broke and Boris had been rushed to the hospital, William was concerned that informing the country about his own plight would send everyone into panic mode. The Sun wrote in its report. Harold told Insider he believes that William kept his recorded diagnosis private to prevent public speculations over who would be the next in line to the throne in the event that he and Charles died. If William's son, Prince George, who is 7 years old, were to succeed the throne before turning 18, Prince Harry could temporarily take his place as regent under the Regency Act 1937, according to Royal Central. A regent is someone in the line of succession who would undertake duties on the behalf of the monarch if they are under 18 and therefore too young to be legally crowned. Prince William's coronavirus diagnosis was no secret among the royal family. According to Royal Insider, the Queen was worried when both William and Prince Charles, her two direct heirs, were diagnosed with COVID-19 for all the anonymous quotes that can come from the Buckingham Palace about one royal scandal or another. It turns out that the royals can still keep a secret if they want to, at least for a few months. Over the weekend, The Sun reported that Prince William tested positive for coronavirus in early April, but chose to keep his diagnosis under wraps to avoid causing panic. According to The Sun, William was treated by the palace doctors and isolated according to government guidelines. The Daily Mail's Rebecca English tweeted that Kensington Palace has confirmed that Kate Middleton and the couple's 3 children didn't come down with the illness, though Kensington Palace has declined to comment on the story. Royal insiders have confirmed that William's April illness to Vanity Fair. One source close to the royal family denied the Sun's claim that William was hit hard by the illness. My understanding was that he was not bedridden, actually coped pretty well with the virus, working for most of the time he had it, the insider said. It was no secret among the family, but William didn't want it getting out because he didn't want to worry the nation. In late March, Prince Charles announced that he tested positive for COVID-19 after traveling to Birkhall, his country home on the Balmoral Castle.